A noise, yeah.
We're live on the stream. That's just a stream. And in a minute and a half, we'll do the informal. Like, we can say hi to the streamers, let them know that we're what we got going on.
All right, good morning, everybody. We're getting ready to start. We're back at the SHOT Show at the National Sporting Shooting Sports Federation called SHOT Show. All right, is that good, Chip? Can you hear me?
Great, yeah.
Can everybody else hear us out there in the media world?
Well, we got in 1 minute, we'll have 6 minutes to the radio start. So
Okay.
let them like,
All right, so guys, what we do for the next few minutes, we can just chit chat and Sheriff, what if I forget what district you're running for, would you please jump on when I say it? Because I'll forget. Okay, and you were the prior sheriff of Pinal County. I can still see your videos. Florida. Very good. And Dr. John Lott, very good. And Dan Dela Cruz with Compliant Technologies is with us. I'll formally introduce later on as we come on. But for the moment, just wanted to make sure everybody can hear and everybody out there is, y'all, this is the biggest event I've ever seen. There are, how many people?
I don't know, 50, 60,000 probably.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, you can barely move on the high part of the day. You can't get through that main hallway. And it's so refreshing to see so many pro Second Amendment people all in one building. Okay? And the people who support us in the Second Amendment. And the people that support the police and the people that support the people are with us today. So it's going to be a great show. But it's our last day. And we're flying out tomorrow. What are we on? Taking a Greyhound home, or what are we doing? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
we're thumbing.
Yeah. I think it was Spirit, which is really Greyhound.
Well, I got a car.
Sure.
You got a car here?
Yeah, well, I drove down from Montana.
How long?
You drove?
No, I can only.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be over there at 9. I told the guy I can't be there.
So 30 minutes then? At 30
Yeah, like
minutes?
20 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. At the halfway point, we'll do like a 4-minute break and we can shuffle.
Yeah.
But there's an emergency.
I was supposed to be over there at 9, and
Okay. Well,
when you
thank-
moved
thank-
it, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So talk about gun-free zones, and you also mentioned
Yeah.
talking about crime by illegals.
Yeah. Let's hit the gun-free zones primarily, and then, but that's another great second topic. So if we can exhaust that one topic. So,
Sure.
Sheriff, when it's time for you to have to get up and go, we'll say goodbye now because you don't have to hang around and,
Okay.
I appreciate you being
Great.
here very much.
No, thank you for having me.
Good luck on your race.
Thank you.
And Doctor, same thing with you. Once
I'm there.
your time period,
Okay.
you just put it down, and leave, and
Okay.
we'll start.
No
taking
formal goodbyes.
No. No. All right. So how much time?
All right.
5 minutes.
Before we start ready.
That's a lot of time to talk about stuff.
Thank God you have to get the gab.
Oh yeah, that's what I do. So, Doctor, is this first time you've been to the SHOT Show?
No, I've been here before. I don't come all the time.
Yeah.
But I've been here several times before.
It's overwhelming. What is your best thing that you like to come do here?
I basically just do media row.
Right.
That's,
So you get your message out.
yeah. Just, I don't know, I did like 8 or 9 interviews yesterday.
Okay. Good deal.
Part of it, some of them weren't just here because I had the piece in the Wall Street Journal, so that
Okay, well, good. Yeah. That's
generate stuff.
Dan, other than chance to use your product, anybody who's passing by, what do you like to come to SHOT Show for?
Well, I'm so busy when I'm here, I don't get to actually walk around and see anybody.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Yeah.
When I start to walk, somebody stops to talk to me, and I never make it where I'm going.
When's
Amen to that.
Yeah. I run across that as well. As Chip's dragging me.
the
He makes me
race coming up, or
No, it's
are you running
not as
for
good as.
election, or
No, the congressman that's there is running for governor,
okay?
so it's leaving a seat open, but it's a plus.
So you're running
15
for
plus.
Congress?
Yes, sir.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay.
on that.
Well, I got some good friends in Congress, Thomas Massey.
Oh, yeah?
And I've written like 24 op-eds together.
Really?
Stubby and I've
Yeah.
written
Stoopies. Yeah.
pieces together before. He knows me pretty well. If I can help.
Chip's behind the board. He is across the table. You can't even see Chip today, folks. You won't be able to see Chip at all. We've discussed this among ourselves, and we're putting Chip on the other side.
Excellent.
3 minutes. Buddy, it takes a long time. So, Sheriff, you here? Were you here every day? Leave tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah. We usually get in on Tuesday, and then we'll leave on Friday.
Yeah, I think by Friday, everybody's wanting to go home.
Oh yeah.
But I've heard that Friday's the best day to be here if you want to just get stuff.
So we used to
Because they're
go out
hanging
Friday
out.
morning,
Yeah.
out on the floor, because then you can get a bunch of.
Yeah, yeah, they just, they go take it. We don't want to take it home. Just take it. Yeah.
There's we do, there's one of them gets out skateboards. So usually we'll go pick up our skateboards on, Friday morning.
Oh my
They put
gosh.
logos on them and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my
Maximum
gosh.
defense.
Is that your son that travels with you?
So I have two of my sons here and my son-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all gun nuts. So they all come out to.
Yeah. I was thinking about maybe next year bringing my wife out, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
My wife would hate this.
Yeah, she'd go, everything looks like everything.
Yeah. She'd hate it.
You know, once you see the 400th AR-15, it's really like,
I know.
whatever.
I know.
Something else to see.
Yeah. What we do is we just figure out who do we want to see, like who, some of our clients, some of our, and then for me now that I'm consulting, I come out here and kind of see if I can pick up a client or two as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Once Chip is going to his great reward, and I take over everything, and
See,
we'll
Mike,
get different. Chip, and your name is Chip, correct, sir? Is that all right, Chip? What's your middle name, just for all listening? I thought it was
Mr.
Chip Day.
yeah.
Block is the last number.
I thought it was in
Chip Dale was his professional dancing.
Oh, okay.
See, I didn't do you dirty like that. I gave you a real middle name.
Well, I
Chip
tell you,
Block.
yeah,
It's Dale Byron the Block Jr.
Byron, that's Byron. That's what it was.
Okay.
All right. Well, I can't insult him. He can't insult me. The stuff we've been involved with in the last 20-something years at police work, we were talking this morning, reminding each other of the old stories about, the names and so forth. And we have been through it. I don't even know if I have enough bandwidth at his funeral to tell all the stories. I'll just make sure I tell this. He was a good guy. Middle name was Byron. Okay, then I'll start crying and walk off. I have nothing left to say.
Getting close.
Okay, good deal.
I'm trying to get the ad thing going here.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a lot more foot traffic here.
He's in the Wall Street Journal Tuesday. In my entrance.
I don't have the glasses on.
Okay, well you can read. You can keep
No, I got it. It's big enough print, so this is good.
Okay.
Oh, good deal.
We have sponsors too. I can do that. We got 5 seconds and
All right.
start the music. Here we go.
Thanks. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We are back at the SHOT Show, the National Shooting Sports Foundation SHOT Show. It is the biggest gun-related event probably in the whole world. It's catered to the firearms industry, but we're fortunate to come here, and fortunate, especially today, to have some really, really special guests. We've got with us Mr. Dan Dela Cruz with Compliant Technologies. We have Dr. John Lott with the Crime Research Center. We have Sheriff Mark Lamb, who's running for Congress. And Sheriff, remind me which district, because I forget.
So that's going to be AZCD 5. So that's East Valley of Phoenix.
Okay.
Gilbert, Chandler, all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah. If I was I'd vote, if I was a Democrat and dead, I'd come vote for you. I'd vote for you.
I get a lot of
I'd
those
vote for
votes,
you
man.
twice. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here with us.
Can I jump in here and just mention the sponsors as
please.
And so, hey, this is your friendly announcer. And hey, we do want to thank our title sponsor, Gulls at Gulls.com, CompliantTechnologies.com. That is Dan's company. And they are our satellite sponsor, AeroPrecisionUSA.com, our arms sponsor. We have Gunlearn.com, America.live, SafeRecruiting.com, TwoBells.com. That built a new online store on FisherLandoBass.com, where you can do the bass fishing charter or hunt the famous wild Florida alligator. A shout out to Brian Burns for the Tampa Free Press for carrying our content. Ray Dietrich from Lawman.com. And finally, Travis Yates, our very own, with LawOfficer.com. Back to our host, Brett Bartlett.
Love Travis, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, y'all. But he's a very present personality when he's big.
His book is great, Courageous Leadership. He is we brought in our agency and him just talking about leadership. Great. I know that's not what we're here to talk about, but I just want to give him a plug
still
too.
good. Back in my old agency, I think I'd love to have him there as well. But not everybody's comfortable with the truth. So some people just can't.
No, we were fine with it. So we did great.
Well, what I'd like to talk about, we've got Dr. John Lott with us today. He is an economist and a world-recognized expert on guns and crime. He does a lot of studies. So, Dr. Lott, if you would give us a couple of minutes on some of the research that you've done recently that really plays a role in what we're seeing. Now, one of the things we talked about, you were going to mention the gun-free zone. That, you know, that's the big lie, the gun-free zone. So if you could give us a minute or so on that, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. Well, you know, people think that if they just put up a sign that bans people from being able to go and carry guns in places, that it's going to make them safer. In fact, these areas actually encourage attacks to occur there.
Yeah.
You know, you have places that will have like 5-year prison terms for somebody who goes and violates a gun-free zone. Well, for you or I, that would be a huge penalty. Our lives would be completely turned upside down if we became a felon and had to spend 5 years in jail. But let's say you're a mass murderer. You're going to shoot people that are there and you're going to be killing 5 people or whatever. You're already facing 5 life sentences there. Mm-hmm. Is 5 years taken from your 6th life going to impose a real penalty on somebody? Right. And the answer is, of course not.
Right.
All you've done is set up rules that are going to make it so that the law-abiding good citizens are going to obey that, and the criminals going to know that they're not going to worry about anybody being able to go and stop them there. Right. You know, when you look at 92% of the mass public shootings in the United States take place in areas where guns are banned. And one of the biggest biases that I see in the news media is that even though they cover the diaries and manifestos for these mass murderers, one thing that they ignore all the time is that these guys explain why they pick the targets that they do.
Right, because they're soft, right?
Right. They may be crazy in some sense, but they're not stupid. You have people overwhelmingly who want to commit suicide, but they want to go to they know they want to get more media attention, and they know if they go to a place where victims can't defend themselves, they're going to be able to go and kill more people and get more media attention. And I would think that's newsworthy to go and understand why these guys do it, but the media just refuses to cover those parts of their diaries and manifestos.
Sheriff Lamb, do you have any input on this? I'm sure, you know, you're living in a very pro-gun area. Are there gun-free zones?
No, not in Arizona. No. Arizona's a constitutional carry state. I mean, some of the businesses try to say, hey, no firearms in here. But for the most part, Arizona is just, look, you can, as long as you're an American, this is the way it should be. Yeah. As long as you're an American and you're not a felon, you're free to carry a gun, concealed, open carry, however you want in Arizona, which makes it one of the best states to live in for Second Amendment. Yes. But here's a big thing about, the doctor just gave me an article he wrote. I was born and raised in Hawaii, and I would love to live in Hawaii. But one of the reasons I would struggle with that decision is because of how they look at the Second Amendment and guns. And here he's talking about not even being able to have it in your private property, which is ridiculous. But one last thing, I'll just say that I just find it very weak leadership and very weak-minded that somebody would blame an inanimate object for a crime or for shootings. These are people with mental health issues, and whether they had a gun or a vehicle or whatever else, they'll use a weapon, whatever weapon they can get their hands on. So it's not the guns that are killing people, it's people kill people. And what weak leadership it is. And I said this on a Cuomo show to the mayor of Toledo, Ohio, when he was trying to blame guns, and I said, this is weak leadership to blame an inanimate object for something that you have failed to control, which is mental health issues and crime in your community.
Right. And Dr. Lott, we were talking earlier, there's it's a Supreme Court case being held right now about guns in Hawaii. If you just give us a minute on that.
Right. Well, the sheriff was just referencing that. Hawaii, in 2022 with the Bruin decision, the Supreme Court said those 7 states that had may issue laws where you have to go and provide a good reason to some public official why you should be able to carry a gun, they ruled that as unconstitutional. They said you can have objective rules, you can have training, you can have fees, age requirements, background checks, but it has to be objective rules. And so what happened was 5 of those states, including Hawaii, California, New York, said, well, if you're going to make us issue permits, we're going to make it so you can't carry any place in the state to effectively undo that.
Always have a plan.
And that was the case that the Supreme Court heard on Tuesday.
Now, when do they do out with that, Dr. Lott?
They'll be out by the end of June.
End of June, okay.
Wow. One comment I wanted to make.
Please.
Well, one thing that we've recently looked at is just police versus civilians in stopping these mass public shootings and what are active shootings. And what you find, people don't appreciate what an incredibly difficult job uniformed police officers have. When you have somebody in uniform, that gives attackers real tactical advantages. So if I have somebody in uniform there and somebody's thinking about shooting up the area, they have many options. They can either wait for the person in uniform to leave before they attack, or they can move on to another target themselves. Both of those lower the probability that an officer will be present there when an attack occurs.
Yes.
But what also can happen is that if they insist on doing the attack there, who do you think they shoot first? They're going to shoot the person in uniform because he's the one person that they know has a weapon and might be able to go and stop them. And what you find is that we find that if you look at all the FBI active shooting incidents from 2014 through 2024, armed civilians with permits stopped more of those attacks than police did for the first two reasons. But even though the police were involved in stopping fewer attacks, they were 12 times more likely to be killed in stopping those attacks than civilians because they were singled out first. If you have somebody with a concealed carry permit, you don't know who that is. They can't target that person in advance before they do it. And so anybody who's read my academic research knows that I think police are the single most important factor for reducing crime. But people have to appreciate what an incredibly risky and dangerous job police have being in uniform. There's important reasons why police are in uniform. I don't want to take that away, but there's a trade-off, and we have to appreciate the dangers that poses for them.
I think so. Dan, you have and what state are you from?
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay. So in your city or your jurisdiction, do we have gun-free zones popular?
No. I mean,
Still,
like Mark said, when you walk up to a business, there'll be a sign saying "No guns allowed."
Yeah.
We walk in
California. If you don't like it in Arizona, go back.
Exactly. We take our guns where we need to take them.
Okay.
And I agree with the doctor 100%. We have to have our citizens armed that should be armed. You know, get trained. I believe in training and be a responsible citizen. And a lot of these things will stop much sooner than they are. And the cowards out there that are going to schools and going to churches and trying to find gun-free zones, just like the doctor said. I mean, those statistics are astounding when you actually hear them. When I'm having an argument with somebody, all I get is their emotional argument. I don't know what they're talking about. But this gentleman has the numbers, and that matters.
Well, look, in all these shootings, they pick soft targets, schools, churches, places where they don't believe that a uniformed police officer is going to be. The uniform, most times they don't, while we become the target, they're oftentimes avoiding that as much as they can. They want to find places where they're not going to encounter resistance. Right. And that's why it's so important to have people that are armed, because that's the resistance they don't expect.
About 14,000 public schools in the United States have armed teachers and staff. And all from 2000 on, all the mass public shootings in schools have occurred in places where teachers and staff are banned from having guns.
Got it. All right. Cool breeze. Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Commercial break, guys. Coming right back.
About a few thousand right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, you're right.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about Galls, our title sponsor at Galls.com. You know, as police officers, we know we do the one thing we do really, really well is buying gear. And we know that we can buy gear just about anywhere when you throw the online options on some of this, right? But I want to remind everybody what's really important here is supporting the companies that actually support law enforcement. And I don't know the company does it better than Galls at Galls.com. Even the motto is proud to serve those who serve, which of course they do in spectacular fashion. Not only that, they walk the talk by supporting dozens of focused organizations like this radio show. So when you're looking for gear, please support our title sponsor by going to Galls at Galls.com, and they're going to do you one better for the loyal listeners of the show. We're going to go ahead and give you a gift card code that's going to be 50% off your next purchase, and that's Radio 15. Type in Radio 15 in order to get 50% off your next purchase at Galls.com. And hey, don't wait. That's going to last for a little bit longer, especially during SHOT Shows. So please check that out. And hey, they have gift cards. Hook up your family, friends, and loved ones with a new Galls gift card, and they will be new best friends. They pretty much have everything, as Captain Brett Bartlett always says, except for guns and ammo. Galls.com. Now we're going to talk about Compliant Technologies. That is Dan Dela Cruz's company. And of course, We all know that they're committed to providing non-lethal solutions to help officers gain the upper hand safely and rapidly in a humane, law-abiding manner, utilizing what they call their CD3, which stands for Conductive Distraction and De-escalation Technology. Now, their flagship product, we all know by now, it's called the Glove. It's helped officers not just tens of thousands of times, but I think there are over 250,000 uses right now. And guess what? No injuries. And you heard that correctly. It said no injuries. The Glove has actually achieved non-lethal status in an arena that predominantly can only offer less lethal results. And when it comes to weapons retention, transition to a sidearm or conductive energy weapon, the Glove at ComplyTechnologies.com, they virtually eliminated weapons confusion. So stay ahead of the game with Comply Technologies and the revolutionary CD3. The hundreds of agencies have already run to nationwide. And friends, take it from me. This is one of the most common sense, hands-on solutions that's ever come along. So go to ComplyTechnologies.com today and tell them that Chip, Brett, and Dan sent you. Again, that is ComplyTechnologies.com.
Excellent. So we have a few minutes. We have 2 minutes. All right. Let me tell you guys a story about the gun-free zone.
So tell them that we're going back to radio in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Everybody, come back to radio. If you want to type a question for Chip, he'll it's like at the club. If he likes you, he'll let you in. If not, then you don't get it. So I take my mom when she was alive to the doctor, and all of a sudden there's a no gun sign on the door. And so I left my gun back in the car. I'd never seen that sign on the door. So I go inside and I asked the young lady, I said, why the no gun sign? She goes, well, we don't even know. It's just a new owner. We don't even have your. And I'm looking around the room. It's a room this big with 80 to 85-year-old white women. I'm going, was there some gang activity here that they had to tell the old white women not to carry guns? It was stupid. Yeah. It made no sense. I think, Dr. Law, sometimes it's just a knee-jerk reaction. They don't even know why they're doing it. It drove me crazy.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, the question is, you put up a sign there. Who's going to obey the rule? It's going to be basically the law-abiding people who are going to obey it, and not the criminal.
You don't see some 16-year-old with a long jacket and an AR-15 and the grudge walking up to that sign and going, "Oh crap!"
I mean, so you're the person that obeyed the sign there,
right?
That you're good at,
right?
But when you get to a gun-free state, the law-abiding citizens are following the law. They don't want to get fined. They don't want to go to jail. But all the criminals are carrying weapons.
Yeah, got it.
It just doesn't make any sense.
We're coming right now. Going back to radio. Coming up right about. Okay. Right about. Right about. All right, we're back on live radio. We have Dan Dela Cruz with Compliant Technology, Dr. John Lott. We have Sheriff Mark Lamb with us. Thanks. I'm sorry, Travis Yates. I apologize, Travis Yates. There is some resemblance.
Yeah, there is. He's got a nicer hat today.
I didn't see you come in. So thanks for being here.
He's small. He's just snuck in there.
Well, Travis, we just got done talking about, if you want to talk about some more, fine. If not, we'll change the topic, about gun-free zones. And Dr. Lott has done research on that. We talked about it. So where you're from, what state, remind me? Oklahoma. Gun-free zones?
Very rarely. Yeah, very rarely. But we still have the occasional places that you see it. Yeah. Fortunately, our schools have started to figure it out, and they've done a much better job of locking down. Like, you should have one ingress and outgress to the school. If you don't attend there, you shouldn't be able to get into any building but the office, and that office should be locked down. So we're seeing more and more of that happen.
Okay. In Tampa,
I'm not sure that's. I don't know. To me, when you go in, you have like one entrance, whatever, that can actually create problems, bottlenecks for people going in and out of the school, and makes easier targets if somebody's going to go and attack. But I think what you need to do is to consider having armed teachers and staff.
Right.
And even school resource officers. One argument I've had with many conservative friends of mine who want to have one uniform school resource officer there is the problems that we were talking about before, in terms of being targeted or waiting for the person to leave to another building. If you're going to put an officer in a school, my advice is do not have them in uniform. Make them blend in. Make them a PE coach, or make them a staff member there, and don't let them identify. And rather than having a sign in front of the school that says this school is a gun-free zone, have a sign in front of the school that says, warning, select teachers and staff at this school
Oh, good
are
idea.
armed,
Yeah.
and we'll use it to stop.
So
So you have, I think you have about 40% of the schools in Oklahoma, about 40% of the schools in Texas have armed teachers or staff that are there. Nationwide, it's about 14,000. We talk about soft targets, but it's different types of soft targets. It's not all schools are equally, desirable
Right.
for these people to go and attack.
Right. Well, I have a certain opinion on school resource officers. I won't jump on it now, but I do think this: if you're a marked target, you're the first to go. I used to call them paid hostages. That's what they were. They were just paid. They were the first to go. That's an interesting concept, though. But isn't it, Dan? Do you think it's we're talking about giving teachers to guns? How far have we sunk in our world that we're talking about giving teachers guns? How far did we fall?
Well, I wouldn't say that would be a fall. I would say that'd be a progression.
But what I meant was, to
the point where we need guns to school. Yeah.
Something's
When
broken.
I was growing up, never there was no school shooting. We never thought about another child or adult bringing a gun to a school. It's just incredible. And the same facet in my day, the last thing in the world I would have ever thought about doing as a child was saying no to a police officer.
Right.
It just didn't exist in my world. And if I thought I was going to fight with a police officer, my assumption would have been as a child, I'm probably going to die.
Yeah.
I might die if I try to fight
And
a
if you
police
live,
officer.
you wouldn't live through your
No, because I wouldn't live when I got through my front door. So it was the furthest thing from my mind. So that's a societal problem.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
Brett, I think part of the problem isn't the advent of school shootings. It's the fact that we as society, we as leaders, we as politicians, we as police leaders, we're not actually talking about the problem. The problem isn't the guns.
No.
We've always had guns.
Right.
What has changed in the last 2 decades? It's mental illness. It's prescription drugs.
Right.
It's the things that it's taboo to talk about. And everybody wants to run to guns. Well, guns haven't changed. We've always had guns in this country. So something between the ears of our children have changed. That's what we really need to get down to the heart of it.
Well, what I think happened is people have always wanted to commit suicide, but someplace along the line, people realized that they could get a lot of attention. And if you read the diaries by killing other people, and if you read the diaries and manifestos, you have individuals who crave getting attention. They feel unappreciated. See, if you look at somebody like the Sandy Hook mass murderer, he had done what police described as essentially a doctoral dissertation, where he had looked at mass public shootings over the previous 40 years.
Right.
And what he did was he actually graphed out the relationship between the number of people killed and the number of media stories that were done on it to prove to himself that if he could kill more people, he would get more media coverage. And he wanted to go and kill more people than the Norway killer had killed, who had shot to death 67 people, which was more than any mass public shooting in the United States. And because he wanted to get even more international news coverage. And so what you have to do is you have to take away their goal, which is to get media coverage. Now, you don't need to get rid of the First Amendment, but if you can convince them that somebody will be there quickly with a gun to stop them, then you take away what they think will be their goal, and they're be less likely to do the attack.
Well, let me ask this, Dr. Lott. Is there any statistic that we can come up with that will convince the other side that they were wrong, or is it they're dug in on their heels? They don't care about the facts. This is their stance, and there's nothing anybody here can do to convince them otherwise.
Well, I think if the media was just less biased, we'd have a huge difference. So, for example, we mentioned before about the fact that over and over again in their diaries and manifestos, they explain why they picked the target that they did. Do you think it would make a difference if they were to say we've had yet another mass murderer who picked a target because he knew nobody else would have a gun there? Or, on our website at crimeresearch.org, we have literally 50 cases since 2020 where police have said if it hadn't been for the presence of a permanent concealed handgun permit holder, there would have been a mass public shooting. But those rarely get attention when they occur. The other thing there is just how the media covers the world. We hear over and over again the false claim that the United States is unique in terms of mass public shootings. That's simply false. If you look at the 98 countries that we have data for, the United States ranks 65th in per capita rates of mass public shootings. If I were to go and ask you, just Western Europe and the United States, where have the two worst mass public shootings been since 2010, let's say? They've been in Western Europe. You had the concert shooting in Paris in 2015, where 130 people were killed. You had the Norway killing, where 67 people were killed. But we don't usually adjust for population differences and put in per capita rates.
Gotcha. Okay.
Commercial break. See commercial break.
All right, we're going to commercial break right about how long, Chip?
All right, guys, here we go. Hang with us. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about Aero Precision at aeroprecisionusa.com.
Thank you, sir. I
It
appreciate
becomes durability, dependability, and all-American craftsmanship in the realm of duty rifles. And yes, we're talking about long guns. They're more of an aerospace engineering company, so these guys know what they're doing. And you know what? If you haven't been to aeroprecision.com lately, go there for a lineup that matches every discipline because they basically have something for everybody. You know, way back since 1994, they've been quietly leading the air builder parts domain, but now they're making waves in the complete rifle arena with solus bolt actions. And that's not all. Their F4E1 Pro and the multiple handguards, they had the market last year at aeroprecisionusa.com, the embodiments of duty rifle excellence now being tailored for the civilian customer. That means that you guys can start getting your hands on the premium stuff and their M5 AR three-way platform, nothing short of spectacular. So don't settle for less when you can have the best. Head over there, aeroprecisionusa.com. Again, that is aeroprecisionusa.com because those are the guns to have. aeroprecisionusa.com.
All right, we're back. Back, right. Okay, we have 4 minutes to talk. All right. So I was going to tell you guys a story on air, but I'll tell you guys now. I'm glad that my 12th grade math teacher wasn't armed because she'd have busted a cap on my behind 3 or 4 times. I gave her so much crap when I was buddy. So how you doing this morning?
I'm good, man. How about you? I will tell you a quick school story. When I decided when I was taking school tours of private schools there in Oklahoma, one of the big reasons I sent my school to this particular school was one was Christian, but number 2, when we took a tour, the principal looked at it and said,
Sure.
"Yeah, it's tour."
All right.
Tour. When we took a tour, the principal looked back and said, "There's a gun in every hallway." Yeah, he didn't necessarily know I would agree with that, but he wanted to make sure as a parent I knew that, which I said, where do I sign up?
Right.
I mean, because the teachers are armed, people are armed, they have rifles locked behind offices.
Yeah.
So there's been a few instances with, reports of shootings or something in the area, and my kids would see that the AR-15s come out in the hallways, and they just stand by and lock down the place. So well protected.
The doctor had a great idea and thought about if you're going to have a cop in the school, put him in plain clothes. I never thought about that. That's a great idea.
Well, listen, our SROs are important because I used to make fun of SROs. And if you can't be a cop, we can always be the SRO.
Hold on. Chip, you hearing that?
But the truth, I'm not finished. But the truth is, you need your best cops in their schools today. That's where the devil goes to play.
Right.
You need your most tactical, best cops in your schools. But so my joke is still a good joke, but it doesn't really apply today.
Right. Well, I'm absolutely on board with you. Absolutely on board. And this just my own observations. They need to have more warriors in the schools. And
You're going to trigger me. You're going to trigger me, Brad. You're going to trigger me.
As soon as he comes back, I'll trigger you again. But we don't want the ones like we had in South.
You know what's crazy? The citizens that get triggered by warrior, that's exactly who they want when it goes down. They're just lying to themselves.
Yeah, what do they call that? The sheepdog. We don't want the sheepdog around in good times.
Yeah, they're lying. It's cowards.
All right, Chip, tell me, please, because I'm looking deep into your eyes and I don't see any clues.
You got less than 3 minutes coming back to ready.
Okay. Dan, when we come back, when you were a policeman, did you get involved in any active shooters or anything like that?
So I was never a policeman. I work with the Department of Defense.
Close enough.
Oh, for some reason, I thought you did.
Yeah.
You like that sort of object.
You should have seen them earlier getting
His
them
mouth's
ready.
just attracted to
Yeah, I thought we talked yesterday. I thought
It's
you
like
had
a magnet.
No.
Well, since I got metal in my head. Well, how do you think I made cap? Well, I'm sorry.
Stop that. Look at that.
First time's hard.
That's a big gun.
You said it'd be the last.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
I'm sure on camera we're all like a tennis match.
Yeah. That was good. That doctor was very interesting. I subscribed to his website. Have you talked to that gentleman?
No, I try to make it. Listen, I'm a doctor, so I try to not make it have to talk to other ones because we all bore ourselves.
Oh, that's true. What do you talk about at parties?
We all bore ourselves. We don't talk.
Your finger out there.
Yeah, we're all very, very boring to each other.
So you're not.
No, yeah, I can't do CPR, but I can grade your paper.
All right. Yeah. So Chip, is everything going okay over there on the board? If anybody's still listening to
He
us,
got his conductor sticks.
yeah, Chip is
Curtis, Indiana University. How you doing, brother? Nice game.
Chip made a huge mistake today letting me actually moderate the show. So I don't know if this is, he said something about this is your last time ever. So we'll see what happens. I'm glad it's going good, Chip, out here at the National Sport Shooting Foundation Shot Shoot. Going back to radio in just a couple of seconds. All right, we're back with Mr. Dan Dela Cruz from Compliance Technologies. Dr. Travis Yates, who he goes around the country talking about courageous leadership. And I wish we could have had you at our age a few years ago. Not that our people weren't. I mean, they're just. I don't know if people understand. You got to have people on fire for the mission, and over time it kind of burns out. And I understand that. If you could go back and tell these agencies years ago, and say, look, this is going to happen. Start preparing now. What would you tell them all those years ago to get ready for what we see in front of us now?
Well, quite frankly, 2016 on, they weren't prepared. We were what I would call in times of peace. The first half of my career, those type of issues never occurred. And so we never even thought to prepare for it. But just like we do simulations in hazmat and we prepare for hurricanes, we prepare for tornadoes or natural disasters, leaders should be preparing for when this stuff occurs. Because there is a checklist. We'll talk about that in our seminars. There's a checklist. The thing that I'm concerned about is I keep hearing, because we've sort of been in since Trump, people, the pendulum swung and it's kind of, no. Nothing's gone away. What you saw in 2020 against local law enforcement just shifted to Jewish individuals, and it shifted to Tesla. Now it's shifted to ICE. It's the same playbook, and I am not certain we're prepared for that playbook, because during 2020, many police leaders, they cowered down, they bowed down, they bent the knee. They wrote apology letters for some incidents that happened 2,000 miles away. Those letters are still online. Yeah. They're still coming out and discussing that. And it was all a scam of epic proportions. So listen, I think the truth is, I think the system is sort of made up that way. If police chiefs work for politicians, if politicians get political, police chiefs end up being political. But I think we have to have a hard reckoning, because it's not like law enforcement is thriving right now. We've talked about it a lot here with retention and recruiting and the morale and the things that are happening. Quit looking out the window and thinking it's somebody else's fault. The reason people are leaving this profession, it's your fault.
Yeah.
People don't leave good bosses. They leave bad bosses. So I think we have to have a heart-to-heart talk. And I think we're unwilling to do that, because when you do that, that's hard to have. That's hard to have. If you have to have a tough conversation with your wife, you kind of put that off, right? But if we don't have that tough conversation, this is all going to repeat itself. It's cyclical. And we're already seeing it. Like, the chaos is just directed in a different direction. You don't think the next viral video, if it's politically savvy and local law enforcement, they wouldn't do the same thing? They called every one of us racist for 2 years, and we didn't have much to say about it. So we cannot put up with that anymore.
Very good. What would you say, Dan? What would you say to policemen these days? Their leadership is bending the knee, and the leadership is crying about things that happen. What would you tell them, because you're in the civilian world now, you're involved in police work, but when you're a civilian now, what would you tell these young cops about the current events? If they were sitting right here, do you have any advice that you can tell these young guys?
It'd be very difficult. It's a difficult conversation, because what Travis said rings true to me. You need a good leader. And these young guys, and most of these are young guys coming out of the academy, undertrained, misunderstood by the world, right, of what their job actually is and what they're doing. They're already walking out the door because they're in a uniform. They've got a target on them already. They have to have a leader that believes in them. And to ask them to stand true and be there, we're going to have a small percentage of guys that are willing to do that.
Right.
We need good leaders. So I'm going to stand behind Travis 100% and say this goes back to the leaders. It'd be very hard for me to advise a young man to stand there and go to work every day and work for a guy who won't stand up for him, who won't protect him, and believe in what they went in there for in the first place.
Right.
We can go back in time to true leaders who had men who would follow them into war with a shield and a sword, knowing they're going to more than likely die that day. But they believed in their cause, and they 100% believed in their leader, who was in the front. He was in the front. Lead from the front. So
Right.
all you guys, leaders out there, captains, chiefs, lead from the front. Remember who's out in the street.
Sometimes that's tough for them. They've been climbing that. We talk.
They're climbing a ladder.
Yeah. So I've got relatives in law enforcement, and I tell them this. And you've heard that phrase, keep your blinders on. Keep your blinders on. Do your job. Do your job. Don't worry about what the chief's saying. Do your job. And if it gets so bad, you don't like it, quit. Or do something. Nope, nothing's keeping you there. If it's that, but just do your job. And I used to
There
tell
are
them,
leaders that will take you.
I used to tell them, these guys who get in trouble. I said, the chief and the mayor, they don't wake up at night thinking about you. You're not the most important person. Do your job, do it the best you can, and you'll be okay.
I think it's important to say is we talk a lot about poor leadership because all things bad tie back to leadership. But then again, all things good tie back to leadership. And so we have a lot of good departments, a lot of good leaders. You just have on here, Sheriff Mark Lamb. He didn't have a recruiting problem. He didn't have a retention problem. And there's a lot of those leaders out there. But what I think the advice I would give to anybody looking to go into this profession, don't pay attention to the fancy marketing videos and the marketing websites. Get a copy of the policy manual.
Right.
Read the policy manual.
Right.
And if you don't understand what you're reading, find a seasoned veteran to go over with you. And there's only about 2 or 3 policies you need to look at, one of them being use of force. If that use of force policy is written like a dissertation, 50-page thesis, run away.
Right.
Run away.
It's too complicated. Yep. And that's hard. These young kids that come in, they want to, and what do they all say? I want to serve the community. So they come in and they do the best they can, and they go this way or that way. That's all that happens. So Chip, how much time do we have? 5 minutes still? Okay. Talk about topics before the break.
You guys talked about Uvalde yet?
We're on our break now. Before the break. All right. Cool breeze. So
Did we talk about Uvalde when I missed it? Did you talk about it early on in Uvalde?
feel free to jump in.
The officers found not guilty yesterday
Well,
in Uvalde. So, it's an interesting case because it's just interesting because I think the world thinks, well, that's a crime for him not going in.
Right.
So it's interesting that he's found not guilty. I think it's a slippery slope, right? Inaction's a slippery slope. I don't agree with what happened in Uvalde. There was a lot of leadership problems.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time putting that on the line officers when there were leaders there that failed.
I got it. And I will remember this. I don't know who this officer was, but this was stuck out to me. They're looking down that long hallway. The camera's looking down. The bad guy's down here. There's cops here. And I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he just needed to break his mind a little bit. He walked across the open area, got some gel cleaner, came back and washed his hands. I used to tell my guys, before you make a decision, ask yourself, how is this going to look in the paper in the morning without the ability to give us context to what you're saying, to what you're doing? But that's the piece that's stuck in the mind. And I don't know if anybody else picked up on that, but it was an odd moment. I think the failure there, Travis, was there was no one person who was screaming. Whoever was in charge should have been in that hallway and not outside on the radio, right? Where they saying battle. The guy that's up front knows more about what's going on than anyone else.
And that's a great point. Everybody wants to say, well, if I would have been there, I would have just ran past all these officers and done this. But what you don't understand is if you're 4th or 5th in line, you're thinking the people ahead of you know more than you and are making the right decision. You don't know that. You have limited information. So it's really easy for people that weren't there to say, I'd be the most bravest person in the room, right? Obviously, it was a leadership failure. It was a training failure. Hopefully, we learn from that. We learn from every one of them. I'm curious on what you folks think is when I study active shootings around this country, whether it be Columbine or anything else, I don't think we've done any of them perfect.
No.
We haven't done any of them perfect.
No.
We try to learn from each one of them for the next one. I mean, the Pulse nightclub had problems. Columbine had problems. And so I know I went through 4 or 5 different training mandates in my 30-year career to go, okay, we know we said wait on a backing officer. No, now we're doing single officer. And I know we said single officer, but now we're doing so we try to learn from that and adapt to that.
I still teach active shooter in the police academy. I taught it in our police agency years ago. And I tell these kids, I said, listen, you're getting 8 hours of this stuff, maybe. Okay. If you can remember anything 10 years down the road, grow a set, get behind that badge, go in there, shoot that bad guy. Okay. Because, and if you got somebody with you, great. But if not, your mission, every once in a while, you got to put it on the line. That's what you're here for. Go in, get that bad guy, put him down.
Yeah. That's the one thing they will remember. That's the one they can remember. Because, like, I don't want to say there's not been a lot, but through history we've arrested millions of people. So it's easy to learn how to arrest somebody properly and do the technique and do everything right. We don't want a million active shooter situations. So we have a small frame that we get to learn from. And guys, that's not easy to do and try to figure out, because the situations are so much different. We're not going to get it right every single time.
No, we're not.
But I agree with you.
Go shooting.
In the end,
if they can remember this,
get rid of the issue.
Diamond formation, move. Let's go get the bad guy. They can just remember that, but that's a hard road. You know,
Go.
If you don't practice it, you're going to forget.
Yeah.
Practice is the key.
Yeah.
Some of you have been in those simulations. I know I've done some in schoolrooms when those shots go off with it's not real stuff. You don't even know where they're coming from.
No.
They go through the hallways and you're like, well, where do I go? What direction do I go?
Right,
So
right.
in real life, under stress, it's extremely difficult. But I agree. Keep moving, keep looking.
It's this. Yeah, you're looking around. It's me and you guys, buddy. That's it. Let's go. You're on the right. I'm on the left. Let's go. Let's move to the sound of the guns. Put the bad guy down. Step over the dead. Step over the wounded. Let's go. Let's go get them bad guy.
Back to commercial.
Back to commercial.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about GunLearn at gunlearn.com. And hey, if you haven't been to gunlearn.com, you need to check out that website and check it out soon, because there's a lot going on. Gunlearn.com, law enforcement officers, we encounter guns every day, but it's what we don't know about them that gets us into trouble. Injuries, civil lawsuits, accidental discharges, misidentifications, lost prosecutions, and also disciplinary actions. But gunlearn.com, they have your back. You can quickly become extremely firearm knowledgeable by simply learning 14 training modules from the convenience of your home or your office, or by attending a live seminar at gunlearn.com. You can also become a safe, accurate, and competent certified firearm specialist like our very own Captain Ben Bartlett, and also Attorney Ken F.E. Now, the course has had huge success in raising the bar of firearm knowledge, and Gunlearn's been a trusted source since way back in 2011 by gun manufacturers, federal agencies, resident organizations, and police departments nationwide. Now, if you're having an agency, the founder, Dale Kelly, has got a deal for you. You can actually host a seminar for absolutely no cost. It's an amazing opportunity. You can go to gunlearn.com to get more information. And again, that is gunlearn.com. I know what you're thinking. Why is Dr. Travis Yates a gunlearn.com specialist? We're going to work on that.
All right, we're good.
All right, we've got 2 minutes before we come back
I've
to the
been
portion of the show.
teasing Track about his wrestling work tour. I'm going to be awful embarrassed when I get to Heaven's Gates and the agent goes,
no paper for you.
yeah, you're gonna take a turn. I'm going, gum, he was right. Hey, gummit, that's why they speak up here. Oh, so what do you got the rest of the day, Travis? Good stuff.
There's about to be a big snowstorm where I'm from, and I'm flying home.
Oh, that's right, it's coming down.
I'm flying home today, hopefully.
Was that planned leaving today, or?
I played tonight, dude.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there. I'm flying home.
Got to beat that snowstorm.
Yeah, down south, they're not used to snow, so they'll shut everything down if I don't get there in time. And I'll be in Vegas till Tuesday.
Are we going up to my room right after this?
All right, we don't want to talk about what you guys do in the room.
This special.
I would say it's going to be some electricity, but that doesn't really clear it up at all, right? Yeah, I think we need to do that.
Yeah, we should get that done soon.
Okay, all I heard was, are we going to my room? And you said, all right, we need to do that.
Let me rephrase, my meeting room.
I'm the board optimization. Yes, there is the glove challenge, which benefits the Wounded Blue, the woundedblue.org, Lieutenant Randy Sons, 501c3. So when this is over, Travis Yates, Dr. Travis Yates, and I
may be elementary school. By the time this is over.
We're going to get the glove applied. We're going to film it. We are not going to announce the results because this is a fundraiser for the Wounded Blue, but we are both going to experience the glove.
And you're going to see how long you can stay. right?
Yeah, the goal is whoever the sponsor is for naming that individual, whoever wins, whoever lasts the longest, that individual, whether it's myself or Travis or whoever else might enter the contest, they get a pair of gloves and they can donate to an agency.
Yeah.
And the person that donates in their name the most amount of money wins a pair of gloves too.
Well,
What's the record, Dan? What's the
3
record?
seconds to
All right, back to the show. All right, can't give you any heads up. I'm hoping you measure it in microseconds. All right, we're back on the show. We're at the National Sports Shooting Foundation SHOT Show, the biggest firearms trade industry show in the world. And they were kind enough to let us here. We have the media room to ourselves. It's a great day. So I've got Dan Dela Cruz of Compliant Technologies and Dr. Travis Yates here with us again. Earlier we had Dr. John Lott. We had some great moderators and great guests this week. We are back. Oh yeah, Sheriff Lamb. Sheriff Lamb is going to be the next representative in his state. I feel it right now. It's going to happen. All right, so we talked about shootings at schools and armed people. What about Dan, anything going on in Minneapolis that you've seen? Tell us your thoughts about that church intrusion. Now, I understand now that some of the participants are changing their stories a little bit. I think they're worried.
They were just there to worship.
Yeah, I think they're worried. What do you got?
Yeah, I agree. That people are going to change. It's like they do something emotional. They act on their emotions. Now they're realizing they didn't make the right decision, and they're worried about the consequences, which is the problem across our country. Is we've taken away consequence. We need to bring back consequence. You guys need to
Bring back bullies.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's got to be a consequence for your actions.
Yeah.
So these people that are parking in the middle of the street, running into churches, touting their things. I mean, if there was a consequence, they wouldn't be doing that. And they've watched it on social media. They've watched it on biased news that I can go do this and I'm going to be praised for it. There's not going to be a
Dan,
consequence for it.
let me ask you this, Dan. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of videos of vehicle extraction with ICE. It's perfectly legal. It's justified if people are not complying, not getting out of a car, but it never looks pretty on video.
No, not at all.
On the political side, politics are using that. How powerful would the glove be instead of because listen, I don't know if people understand this. The reason those videos look so crazy is one person seated in a car. It's almost impossible to take them out of that car because you can only get so many people in the car to take them out, and you can leverage yourself in the car. Like try it, like get in your car and literally leverage yourself. You can't get them out of a car, so that's why it looks so unhinged trying to get people out of a car, and they know that, by the way. But how powerful would the technology like the glove be in those situations? I have to imagine it would not look the way it looks now.
No, it's extraordinarily powerful in that situation, and extraordinarily benign and humane.
Yeah.
I mean, what we have to do to get an individual out of the car right now, it takes time, effort, pain.
Well, don't mention the danger. There's a high risk danger if there's weapons involved when you go to a vehicle extraction.
Exactly.
Bring those weapons up. I lost a good friend of mine, Craig Johnson, because of vehicle extraction. And when they went to extract him, he just reached back and come up with a weapon.
Right.
And so with the glove, you're not reaching for no weapon.
No. And it's not because you don't have the ability to. We're not incapacitating people by any means at all. And Travis, you're going to get to experience this a little later here. When the glove makes contact with you, you just forget what you were doing or what you were trying to do. Their goal was to stay in the car. Their goal was to reach for a weapon as they were being pulled out of the car. They don't remember any of that. All that goes away in a flash, and the next thing they know, they're on the ground outside the car, and they're saying, "Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to go with you."
Dan, have you ever looked at a resistance video and went, "Oh, that went well"?
Daily.
That went well.
That's pretty daily.
I think that's going to be.
I watch these guys trying to getting somebody out of a car is so hard.
It is.
And again, that's something they train them with. They do on everything. And
even if you're trying to get someone handcuffed, they put their hands in front of their body. It's impossible.
Right.
It's impossible.
And we've shown that time and time again. You give me an individual, a little 120-pound guy with skinny arms and everything, and he wraps his arms underneath his body, you're not getting his arms out from under him. It doesn't matter how big Travis is, how strong it is. It's so hard and dangerous for an individual because we do not know what's on their belt line. We don't know what's underneath there when we finally get them
Yeah,
out.
and I know people listen to this show hear me say this all the time. Time is not on your side.
Right.
If you get non-compliance, you have got to control that quickly. We've
Right.
seen many videos right here on this show where we waited and bad things happen.
Right. Time is not
So Dan,
your
just real
friend.
briefly, we talked about the glove, and some people may not have heard it. So it's actually a glove that you put on your hand and explain I'm going to
He
see
can
this.
show you right now.
I could be wrong. Yeah, if you want to see me launch it straight up, I will forget what I was doing. Basically, and again, please correct me. It provides taser-like feeling.
Let me interrupt you because we're nowhere near that.
I know, but please, I know I'd
what
be
this
wrong.
does, it's a glove. It's uncumbersome. It's very simple for an officer to wear. We put it on when we're called to do something.
Yeah.
It's not something we wear all day long. You're going to put it on when you're. I know I'm doing a traffic stop. I'm going to a DV. I'm walking in and I know I'm going to put it on. If I need it, it's there for me. Because as a human being, our first reaction is to use our hands.
Yeah.
So it's on your hands and it's there to use, and I don't have to put it down to keep fighting or do something like
Did
that.
you consider, Dan, calling it the Michael Jackson sensation?
No, because we want you to wear 2 gloves.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
We want you to wear 2 gloves.
I got you.
All right, Travis.
And so when you use this technology, people viewing it, would you agree? Go, what just happened here?
Well, I'll tell you this: if somebody viewed somebody pulling, if I had an officer extracting an individual from a vehicle, the bystanders, the cameras, the news would have no idea what happened because it's going to happen so fast.
Yeah.
And it's so, I didn't raise my hand at them. I didn't point anything at them. You don't hear any loud noises or crackling. They just see a guy get out of the car. That's all they're going to see is an individual get out of the car. Nothing else.
Can I take a break for a minute and say hi to Daddy Ted Nugent? Mr. Nugent, how you doing, sir? Do you want to get your face on camera real quick and say hi to law enforcement?
Yeah,
right.
Come
Daddy
on
Ted
now.
Nugent, hi to law enforcement.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for
Thank
being
you, brother.
What are you?
We're all law enforcement, sir.
Gotcha.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Oh.
14 felony arrest at the U.S. Marshals.
There you go. Very good. Very good.
You never know what you're going to see at SHOT Show.
That's
That's
incredible.
true. That's true.
And
That was pretty random.
I first saw the glove in action a year ago here at SHOT Show, and I remember one of the gentlemen participating was bigger than Travis. He's a big man, and the glove was applied, and my first thought was that man just threw himself to the ground.
Right. Yeah. What
just looks
happens
like
if
that.
this happens out on the street and I'm trying to get somebody, they decide to turn on me or turn on an officer suddenly? What the public's going to see when they're trying to record everything is that citizen suddenly becomes a good citizen and listens to the officer. They're not going to see me swinging. We don't close our hand and strike anybody. I just make contact with them, grab a hold of them and hold them and help them to the ground comfortably. They're going to be fine. Nobody's going to get hurt. The citizens aren't going to know what they saw. They're just going to say, oh, wow, that's the best. That cop's bad.
Going back to my days on the street, I would have loved to have something. Not that I'm feeling sorry for that guy that's telling me no, but it'd just be so much easier, so much faster. Fewer complaints. How much time? 2 minutes?
There's scenario after scenario where we fit. We fit like a glove.
Dan,
Let me tell you.
it's such a no-brainer, man.
Oh,
And the cost is so inexpensive compared to what you get. Well, tell us how we can get this in the hands of every law enforcement officer.
Well, all I can tell you is that everybody that sees it asks me the question, why doesn't every single police officer have this?
This should be academy gear, just like your boots.
Tell me, they should walk out of the academy and strap it on.
Is there? Do we want to fix this issue? Because if not, why are you not spending this
It's
money?
going back to leadership. That goes back to leadership. I'll tell you right now, we trained a department. I won't tell you exactly where it was, but at the end of the training, the chief sat through the training. At the end of it, he pulled me aside and said, hey, we need to order some more. At this point, now that I've seen this face on and I've sat through your training, I would be liable if I didn't outfit everybody.
Yes,
I need more.
Once everybody knows it's out there and it works, how could you not?
Well, I'll tell you right now, there's only a handful of products I will go to my grave saying, you better get this or else. Gloves, one of them.
Yeah.
Right to bear arms, another one. It's a legal defense mechanism that will so there's they don't advertise our chips, so I just do it in there. So thanks, Chip. But the glove is incredible. And I cannot, it's so frustrating from a 30-year veteran that we have not embraced this, but we'll embrace this technology that doesn't do anything for people.
Right.
It's wild to me.
You know, I think in our careers, we've seen some paradigm shifts. Guys older than us, the first paradigm shift, police cars, right? That's the police car. The next was semi-automatics. The next is computers. This could be the next paradigm shift.
Whoa. You were there for the paradigm shift of cars?
No, I said guys before me, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
not way before me. But...
All right, we are there at the end of the show. Hey, thanks so much. Captain Brett Barley did a fantastic job hosting the show today. Dr. Travis Yates, look at that. And another person of Flight Technologies. We usually take this time to talk about the Wind of Blue, the windofblue.org, Lieutenant Rainey Sons Survivalist C3. That's helping officers out in a world of hurt that are suffering from things like PTSD and other issues. You know, Dr. Travis Yates is actually on the board of directors there too. So guys, please support the Wind of Blue. We actually support them monthly. If you're looking for organization support that's not going to embarrass you, the Wind of Blue, thewindofblue.org. And you know, we usually we got this whole glove thing competition coming up that we're going to get to in just 1 minute. And lastly, let me just get to our sponsors. Please support our sponsors, Spells.com, ApplyTechnologies.com, AeroPrecisionUSA.com, Gunler.com, Medicare.life, SaferRecruiting.com, TwoBells.com, and FisherLandOFast.com. Thanks for the support, guys. We appreciate everything. We're going to keep this thing going till the end of the hour to get the sound like everybody happy. But another great show, guys. Any final words for anybody that's watched the show?
No, what a great time. What a great time.
Yes, guys, I appreciate it.
Minneapolis for the next maybe week or two, maybe, you think?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. All right. Well,
Now, we have a direct flight home, so we're not going to get snowed in, but these guys have concerns.
Well, as far as I know,
Not me. I live in Arizona. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
we've got 40 seconds, guys. So it's been another great show. We will just up to the glove challenge. The target date for announcing the winners and what happened and showing the videos and stuff is the end of February. So February the 28th. We'll see how that plays out. There may be some other people here at SHOT Show that want to participate. We need to track down, Sheriff, Mark Lamb and some other people. But we will make those announcements of other people besides myself and Travis who are going to be the main contenders on this thing. But it's all for a great cause, guys. So if you there should be a landing page at thewindofblue.org under the events section that is supposed to have been put up. So if it's not up today, it should be up momentarily. I was told that it's already been activated at thewindofblue.org under the events section. So, guys, we are past time. Tomorrow we've got a great show that producer Rick put together, and it is a previously aired show, but it's one of the best ones we've had. And back on Monday, we will be back live from the Leo Roundtable Studios on Monday, the normal time. 12 noon Eastern. Thanks for the support, guys. We appreciate it. Hope everybody has a wonderful and a safe rest of your day. And make sure you watch the show tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern.
Bye. We off?
Not yet.